Hey there, this is Cecilia Wire from Channel 9 coming to you from NDC Oslo here in the beautiful country of Norway. I'm here with Cecilia. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good.
Fantastic. Why don't you introduce yourself?
So I'm Cecilia Wire and I'm from Sweden and I work at this company called Active Solution. So we basically do all kind of .NET development for our customers and we work together as a team and stuff like that. So.
Fantastic. So how long have you been a programmer?
Oh, I counted that a while ago and I didn't realize myself how long I have been. So it's now I don't remember. I think it's like 15 years or something like that.
Dang, it just goes by so fast, people. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And you have a really cool talk where you're doing tips and tricks for Visual Studio. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So for a while I've been talking about Visual Studio, about news and tips and tricks, and actually last week did a Visual Studio 2017 session on a different conference. So on the conference I do tips and tricks, and last time I did it was for Visual Studio 2013, so I had to hot it up a little bit, but most tips are actually the same as that time, because there are a lot of things that people don't know about and they can't discover it on their own if someone don't show them that. That's all.
And so how many tips and tricks do you usually fit into that talk?
Around 60 for a
16?
Yeah.
So 60 or 16? 60 tips?
Yeah.
Holy cow. And how you do like one every minute or something?
Around.
Oh my goodness. Well, look, I know that I open up Visual Studio and there's things that I use and that I'm excited about, but there's a lot of things that I just don't know how to do. So I'm hoping maybe you can give us a couple of tips, and then we're not going to be able to fit all 60 of them.
No.
I'm hoping we can fit a couple of them and I'll ask you questions. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, so what's number one tip that you want to show us?
Yeah, so basically here I have some code. And if I like to, let's see, if I stand here in the code and I want to do a new line above this line, how would you do that?
I would usually move my mouse to the beginning of the Y and then press enter.
Something like
I would
this.
do that.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, but you don't have to do that. So you can use Control Enter, and then you're gonna get a new line above and be on that line. So
Control Enter.
Control Enter, and there I am.
You know, I've accidentally done this a couple of times, and I'm like, what is this doing? What happened? So this is a deliberate Control Enter, put something above.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did not know that.
Yeah, and the same thing for if you are on the line and want to be on the line below with a new line. You can do similar thing, but with Shift Enter, and you don't have to be in the end of the line, so you can do Shift Enter and you get a new line below.
Seriously, we could literally drop the mic right now, and that would be just like literally Control Enter, put a line above, Shift Enter, put a line below.
Yeah, so thank you for that.
That's literally like we've been. I don't even know how to say this. I've been doing the.
Yeah.
And that's not the right thing.
No.
Okay, so there's two tips that we've got through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's stay in the same area. Let's see, we have those fields over here. And you see this value 2 is not in the correct row. You want it in the right order, right?
Okay.
Because it doesn't feel right otherwise. So how would you do to put that one under the 1?
So I would go again to the beginning, int, and then I would like use Shift and then highlight it, and then I would Control X, and then I would put it do a Control V. So I would do that.
Yeah. But you don't have to do that.
Okay.
So you only do use the Alt key and up and down arrow. So you don't have to select anything. So you're gonna move the whole row up or down. So it's basically that simple.
Where has she been our entire lives, programmers? I feel like I'm literally saying, like, what would you do? And I'm like saying the dumbest thing, and she's like, well, just do this instead.
Yeah.
So Control Enter, Shift Enter, and then you said Alt.
Yeah.
Up and
Alt
down.
key, up and down.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, those kind of things are hard to learn by yourself. So that's why those kind of sessions are good to watch. You may see it when you're pair programming and stuff like that, but you need someone to show you this. So.
Absolutely.
So.
I'm going to repeat these a lot.
Yeah.
So Control Enter, Shift Enter, and then Alt up and down.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So those are really good. I'm
Yeah.
really a fan of this.
Yeah. My next thing is my favorite. So in those lines, I have a couple of ints,
Okay.
and I want to change them all for int 62.
Okay.
64. Now I can do this a couple of different ways. I
Okay.
can select the whole block and do a final search and place and use regular expression and stuff like that.
So wait a minute.
But
I didn't even know you could highlight and find just in the highlight. You can do that?
Yeah, you can do that. So back here you have if the selection or the block, it's the function, or in the document or the project or the
Oh my goodness, that's
solution.
awesome.
Yeah. But there are easy way. If the code is aligned like this, you can do a block selection. So Alt key again, and then you do a drag and select.
See, this one I did know.
Yeah.
And this one I use a
but
lot.
a lot of people doesn't know.
Yeah.
And before you haven't seen it, you oh my god.
Yeah.
So,
and then when you type, it's
yeah.
like,
So this one, and you can actually select like 0. You select the rows, but you don't select anything, and then you can do like a. Oh, sorry.
oh yeah. Looks like we didn't highlight it right.
Yeah, I touched the mouse, so that doesn't really see it. It's a very light yellow line there, so private. So you write that. So that's a good for people that doesn't have seen it before. I think I have seen it on the show before, so I knew about it. But it's a really good thing to know.
It's like the only thing I know so far. So far I'm 1 for 3. No, 1 for 4 on this. So you can actually do a selection of an area and just type in that area. And okay.
Yeah. So you can basically do from empty lines as well if you like to do something like this, and you can start typing there as well.
Fantastic.
So let's try to find something else you don't know.
Okay.
So if you're doing like a copy, you don't Control C, or you can use the menu here,
right?
Of course. And then you go around and do stuff, and you do a new copy, and then you're gonna lose the copy you just did. Yeah, but you don't actually.
Wait, what?
You can circle through your copy snippets you have. So if you're using not only Control V, but Control Shift V, you can circle through the things that you have copied before.
Do you people seeing this? Hold on.
Control Shift V. Yeah, and it's the
How many does it keep?
10.
10 different things.
Yeah.
I feel like we should have you on like for hours. Just be like, no, like she should watch me code and just be like this the whole time.
But I have to confess, I don't do everything here myself.
Okay.
When I revisit my old presentation and need to freshen up, I saw things that I knew about, but I don't use them because I forget. So you need to constantly remind yourself what's it, like put post-it notes on your screen or something to remind you to use the shortcuts and stuff like that. So.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but as soon as you put your post-it note up to remind you, then you'll get into the habit of doing it.
Yeah,
okay.
maybe.
So that was Control Shift V for cycling through up to 10 different things that you've copied.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just add the Shift key to what you usually
Fantastic.
do. So. Yeah, and to talk about copy pasting, I'm guessing that you know that you can be on a row and use copy, and you will copy the whole row.
I did not know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I did not know
you
that.
haven't tried it.
Yeah.
So you can, if you are just on a row and you have not selected anything, and you do a copy, you're gonna copy the whole row.
Okay, I did not know that. That's good too.
Yeah, so that's really good. But the annoying thing is when you're in an empty row and you do copy, you're gonna copy the empty row.
Which is just a line feed.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and that's kind of annoying because when I do copy paste, I maybe do copy and then I'm gonna do paste, but then I get like a in my brain and I do copy again, and then I have lost it, or I can cycle through it.
Yeah.
So for me, I never want to copy an empty line. That's an error for me.
Yeah.
So you can actually turn that off.
Oh.
So if you go to Tools and Options and to the let's see now the text editor, and you go for all languages, you can here apply cut or copy commands to blank lines. If you unselect that it won't copy blank lines.
Man, and I always wonder, like, there's some developer that wrote that, and then like, I wish someone would use this more often.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So before nowadays, if you are logged into Visual Studio with your Microsoft account, you get your settings synchronized. But before that, this was the only setting that I changed when I did a new installation.
I see.
So
but now,
every
if you log in and you use your Microsoft account, it'll just know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
And that's actually a good idea to log in, not only for synchronizing your settings between the devices. Sometimes you have to do because you have a license on it, so they have to have it to validate it.
Sure.
But you also in Visual Studio 2017 have this new feature of roaming extensions.
Okay.
So if you have extensions, they're gonna spread across your devices with all where you have Visual Studio, and a new installation of Visual Studio will also get your extension. So if you haven't logged in with Microsoft account yet, you should do it.
Okay, cool beans.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the you can select any line, it'll copy the whole line. That happens sometimes when you're on an empty line, but you can actually go in and change that option.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So more about copy pasting. Do you know that you can use the toolbox as a clipboard?
That I did know.
Did you know that?
You drag a snippet over to it, right?
Yeah. So just some code you want to have and just drag it over here. And you can actually rename it to make it more...
Oh, that I never did.
To make sense for you. So you have to do this and this, and then you can like rename again
and then just drag it over, right?
Yeah, and then you just drag it over when you want to have it like here as well. So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. And I've done that because of certain demos that I've done before.
Yeah.
I usually just move the snippets over, and it's easy to do.
I use Toolbox for prepping session, but since they are... I get the same feeling as when I'm putting something on the desktop. You can lose it.
So that's the question, because I've had a problem with it going away. Where does it go?
I don't know. So I prepped for a session and I put code there and then it was gone. So I don't use it for those kind of things, but for like shorter amount of time when you don't want to just have it in your regular clipboard, but you want to have it and you know you're going to use it later or something like that, then you can use it. But
so you don't know how it persists?
No, actually I don't.
I need to ask somebody.
Yeah.
We know people at Microsoft. We'll ask them where that goes.
Yeah.
That's a really good
question. But for fast clipboard,
sure.
You know.
So that one I did know, and I've used it sometimes. Like I said, I don't rely on it because it would just disappear sometimes, and that was mildly annoying.
But it's just a tool you can use for this. So let's see what to do next. IntelliSense.
Okay.
So when we are like doing something like this and you get the IntelliSense up and running, most of the time when I write something, I want to see what's below. I want to see the code that's below because that's going to help me to know what
to write.
Yeah, what to write. So in this case, the IntelliSense have blocked my code and I can't see it. And then I can use the control key to make it see-through. So I can see the code behind it and continue writing.
So hold on, I'm pushing down control key and it like makes it just
you see it a little bit, but almost.
Usually what I do, no joke, is I press backspace and then I press the dot again.
Yeah.
Which is not ideal. You're just saying hit control and you can see through it.
Yeah.
That's super handy. I did not know that one.
Yeah. So, and on the other way, if we want to see it because we want to have like the information about the add function, we can use control space to force it to
that one I
appear.
didn't know about.
Yeah. So.
Fantastic. So control will make it see through.
Yeah.
And control space will make it show everything again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It will. So let's move to something else now.
Okay.
Let's see.
So far, as you're looking through that, we've learned about Control Enter, which will put a line above.
Yep.
Shift Enter, which will put a line below. Control Shift B will cycle up through 10 different keyboard shortcuts. We've also learned about selecting with Control, right? Which means you can get and then typing stuff in on multiple lines. We've also learned about snippets and moving them over to the toolbox.
Yeah.
And am I missing any so far that we've done?
I think it was all.
Okay, I've got them all.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got?
So there are a lot of things to learn, and you have 1 and 2, and I'm going to get this, but you actually have to write things down that you actually want to do, because so let's talk a little bit about Windows layouting.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can let's see if we can do, where you like moving around and trying to figure out how you want things to do or something like that. And sometimes you get so confused about how you have
everything's all over the place.
Yeah, so it's crazy. You can always do a Windows reset the Windows layout to get back to like the state where something like after the installment.
Okay.
So that's if you go all the way, you're crazy. You can do this.
Okay, so if we move Windows around way too many times, or someone's messing with you, you can go to Window Reset Layout, and that'll work. Okay.
Yeah. But another thing about layouts is that maybe you have like the laptop as here, and then there where you don't get a lot of spaces, and you want to like pin away a lot of windows and stuff like that, and then you have your external external screens, and you have a dual screen, and you can have all the windows up and stuff like that. Yeah. So what most people mostly do is that you're configuring the environment every time you're starting to load it.
Of course.
Yeah. But you can actually save the state of the Windows layout. So now I have this layout, and I go to the window, and I say save window layout. So if I call this laptop, okay, and then I do something like, let's get some toolbox, like the task list, like out the error list and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then I save this one as desktop, and then I can switch between them with only laptop.
Oh my goodness!
There, and then go back to desktop. So it's easy to set up and makes your.
Where are those layouts saved?
Oh,
like
they should be in like the synchronized setting, but I haven't actually looked at it.
But it'll remember this in between. Like if you're on the same machine, it'll definitely remember.
Yeah. It's not a part of the solution or something. It's a part of your installation in your Visual Studio. So
you may, like for example, when I do my work, I set up my laptop in the office. I put it on this little stand, and it hooks up to this other screen, and so I have my screen and my laptop. There's a layout that I have for Visual Studio there. I can save that. Yeah. And then when I disconnect, it's going to start up weird. I can just reset to the laptop layout too. Yeah. That's beautiful.
So that's really handy.
I love it.
And another thing you can be good if you're like sorry. Hey you. I don't have any here. So if you have dragging some kind of tool window like it, I mean, you want to put it back. You don't remember it was here. You can actually just control double click, and it will go back where it was.
Control double click will put the windows back. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many things in there that I've never even thought about using that were possible, because I've had Windows go out into weird places, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do, and you declare bankruptcy and just reset all Windows. You're saying that you can save it, or you can go back to a previous state pretty easily. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Cool. And one other tip is now the Solution Explorer is selected, and you want to go back to the main window where you have your code. You can just press Escape to always get back to your main windows where you're coding. I
see. So Escape will always take you back. So if you're a keyboard-heavy user, perfect feature for you.
And that's another tip. You should learn a lot of shortcuts so you don't have to move around with the mouse. So I basically do something around a shortcut of the week or something like that to force myself to use more shortcuts.
I see. So every week you're like, I'm gonna pick this one shortcut, and I'm gonna be deliberate about using it.
Yeah.
Because as I'm listening to you, I'm realizing I'm not coding the way I should be, especially with the tool that I have. You're saying pick one thing that you want, like let's just say it's Control-Enter.
Yeah.
Do that this week until you get handy with it, and then move on to the next one. Is that how you've learned all of them? And used all of them?
Sometimes I don't do it every time. It depends on what I'm doing and if I'm going to a conference like this for a whole week, I don't code so much. But something like that, and you can do it like a fun stuff and do it together with your colleagues and stuff like, okay, what shortcut should we use this week, and force everybody to use it or something like that.
That's actually cool. Exactly. Then you have like everyone in your office doing the same thing. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so do you have any more? We have about maybe 4 minutes.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, this is cool. You know the Team Explorer?
Yes.
And you select all the different kind of brushes and changes and stuff like that. But you can actually dock off something here. So let's take the changes area and this arrow here. That's undocking that changes to our own window, so I can put it like right over here, and then I can still have like the synchronization over here, and I've changed it over here.
Oh my goodness! So you're actually able to separate that tool window into 2 different ones.
Yeah.
Because those two things, the one on the left and the one on the right, are very different things.
Yeah.
This is talking about what's changed, and this is talking about what do you want to do with it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. I did not know that one.
Yeah, and that's a kind of hidden, but it was there. But if you haven't looked at what the tooltip said, you didn't know about it. So
as we're going through, because we only have a couple more minutes, and I want to make sure that people can, because I'm sure, hopefully you have a blog or something that people can look at.
Yeah.
Where can people go to find out about these things?
I actually haven't blogged a lot about these things, but I think there's going to be a recording of my session here, so they'll find it there. But they can find me at Cecilia Sharp, so not Cecilia Wire as my name is, but as in C Sharp, Cecilia Sharp. And I'm on all the medias you can find. So
how did you go about learning all of these shortcuts? What was this like? I'm trying to understand, like, where did you learn these things?
I've learned it from both my colleagues, but also from sessions like this that other people have done. So every time I do in this session, I'm going to look at different sessions that have been made. So I'm just gathering up information from all the other sessions, and I select the things that I think is important. And I also did a lot of blog posts about tips and tricks that you can read about. And when there's a new Visual Studio, then you can read all the release notes that are out there, but they don't usually show all the shortcuts and stuff like that. So it's like hoarding tips.
Holy cow! So you've been hoarding these and then giving talks about them.
Yeah, something like that.
That's amazing. Well, this has been super helpful. In the last couple of minutes, what was your Twitter handle again, so people can reach out to you?
Cecilia Sharp.
Cecilia Sharp, at Cecilia Sharp. Make sure if you have any tips and tricks you want to ask her, make sure you do that. This has been really super helpful. Yeah. We have just a couple of minutes before the next session, so we're going to cut the slate for a little bit. But I want you to know that we have tons of awesome guests. We're here at NDC Oslo in Norway. We'll see you after this next session.